Talk Radio. It's award-winning podcaster Clay Edwards.
Boom, shaka, laka, boom. You're tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts right now. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm, of course, Clay Edwards, coming at you live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios out here on the plush compound of WYAB in Florida, Mississippi. Our little free speech outpost. Which one's your freedom of speech? Your First Amendment. It's the First Amendment outpost out here in Florida, Mississippi. Let me cut the air down real quick. This won't be a very good show if I get agitated early. All right, there we go. 68 seems like a good starting point. I don't know how chipping them do it. I guess when you get old like that, you just, the cold air bothers you more, maybe. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the day that 72 is cold for me, because my utility bill might go down. But until then, I don't ever want to see a thermostat in the 70s if I'm in the room. Not in the summer, not in the winter, not anytime. I think 65 is a good summertime temperature. Wintertime, 67, 68. 67 heat is a whole lot hotter than 67 cold is cold, if that makes sense. All right. We are in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, as previously mentioned. On the Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. I'd like to remind everybody that I did survive the Talladega 220. I was trying to think of a good name for the stretch of 220, I-220 that is, from the I-20 split to the 49 exit. That's where I get off. Medgar Evers Boulevard. Thank goodness I don't have to go down that direction. Ooh-wee. I'd have to have a bulletproof rafter. But I come the other way, north. It doesn't feel north. Anyway, my goodness, man. It is something else the way people drive on 220. Now, I am not one of these people who will ride in the left lane. But, I feel like there's a little rant here. I feel like if I'm going 90 already and there's a steady stream of slow cars in the right lane and you're behind me and you're wanting to round me, you're riding my butt at 90, bro, I ain't getting over. I'm just telling you. I'm not going to slow down and get over and get stuck in a stream of slow cars. I watch NASCAR. I'm not getting pushed out the draft. You ain't okey-doking me. You ain't shaking and baking Clay. You ain't leaving me out the draft. If I'm going 90 already, this theoretically, police officers out there listening, I'm not admitting to breaking the law. Figuratively speaking, if I was to be going 90 already and you want to go 95 or 100, well, I see it as being a citizen soldier here. I am saving your life by not allowing you to go any faster. And also, I just ain't getting over. To the guy in the red Silverado this morning that was behind a off-white Raptor, if you just so happened to be listening, I hope you had a flat tire. I hope you found the back end of a vehicle you so badly wanted to kiss with the front end of yours. I mean, am I wrong? Am I in the wrong? Should I get over behind slower traffic so somebody behind me can go faster than 90? It's like, when is fast enough on 220? And where the hell are the cops on 220 to prevent all of this? Remember a couple years ago when the MHP decided they were going to start writing some tickets inside the city limits of Jackson? Oh, the blackses. Oh, man, the racisms. Oh, I remember Brad Franklin and all the clown show rolled out. This is racisms. No, it's not. 220 is a death zone. I mean, you have to go 90 or you get ran over. Remember, I drove through Atlanta in the 96 Olympics. We were going to softball World Series and my sister was playing in. It was 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning going through Atlanta. Bro, if you weren't going 100 miles an hour, you were literally going to get ran over. That's what 220 reminds me of in the 6 a.m. hour. Look, I was just thinking. So I come out 20. I come out 20 west and you merge right to go 220 north. So it's a 2-lane merge. Or not a merge, but it's a 2-lane split. It ain't an exit, really, is it? Anyhow, it's 2 lanes there. If you're not in the left lane where I-20 east merges into 220 north and I-20 west merge into 220 north, you got to be in the left lane so you can get over into the left lane so you can be passing everybody. Otherwise, you get hung out in that right lane, or even worse, you get stuck on the Highway 80 exit. If you do this, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, this doesn't affect you, obviously. But this is one of the most dangerous interchanges in all of Jackson, if not the most dangerous interchange in Jackson, because it never fails. Everybody coming from I-20 east in that left lane wants all the way over in the right lane to get off on 80 east or west. I don't understand who works over on 80 anymore for anything, but there's a bunch of people at 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, in that hour, that need off there for some reason. But it never fails. Everybody in the far left wants in the far right. Everybody in the far right wants in the far left. And you only got about 100 yards before the 80 exit to make it happen. I mean, it ain't for the faint of heart. It ain't for rookie drivers. It ain't for what's it called? Liability insurance only drivers. This is for full coverage insurance drivers only. Definitely ain't for no insurance drivers, but I'm afraid that that's what the majority of the folks coming through there is no insurance having drivers. I bet if we got some JPD officers listening right now, and I've heard this from multiple, most of the wrecks in Jackson involve 2 cars with neither person having insurance. I get a chuckle, man. You got these guys out there, and some of them listen to this show. I love y'all, but we just wholeheartedly disagree on this. The conservative, on the conservative side, on the right side of politics on most things, but there's this group of people who feel like their rights are being infringed upon with these insurance cameras in Pearl. I will always be on the side of, if I got to have insurance, so do you. You not having insurance is the reason my insurance is high. It is not, ain't nobody infringing upon your rights, stomping on the Constitution for taking a picture of your vehicle tag and finding out you don't have insurance and sending you a ticket. Show me in the Constitution where that is you being infringed upon. Show me in the Constitution where you being able to drive your vehicle on the road is a God-given right, an inalienable right. I would like to see where in the Constitution that it says that, or anything that you are bastardizing into saying that. You have to have a tag, and you have to have insurance. That ain't asking a whole lot. It ain't asking a whole lot, because it's up to me if I have anything beyond liability. So if my vehicle gets totaled out and it's my fault, well, that's on me. But what can't happen is, say, for instance, I just have liability and somebody with no insurance hits me. Well, then I'm just screwed all around. That shouldn't be the case. That's why you have to have insurance. Even if you just get liability, it's to protect the other person. Again, this is not nobody stomping on your rights. Y'all are borderline You're borderline right there with these First Amendment auditors who are really just a bunch of liberals. I'm not a fan of the First Amendment auditors at all. What are you auditing? Where are you going back and doing your report? My First Amendment was violated because what? Because you walked into a public building and didn't get full access to everything? Shut up. There's got to be better things for you to focus your attentions on than Peggy Sue at the entrance to a government building, not allowing you full access to everything. It just doesn't make sense to me. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. 769-241-1944. Am I in the wrong on any of this? The answer is no. You can't make an argument for how I'm possibly wrong on this. First Amendment auditors are a-holes, and they're wrong. And if I'm going 90 in the fast lane, too bad. If you want to go faster, you can find a way around me in the right lane. And what was the other thing I was ranting about? First Amendment auditors. Oh, traffic cameras. Traffic cameras are not a violation of your constitutional rights. They're to protect folks like me from you not having insurance. I mean, man, out in Jackson, the criminals will fight for any and every ability to continue to break the law without being harassed by the police. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I mean, some folks with the city actually sued when they was doing roadblocks over in South Jackson. But of course, you peel that onion back a little bit. All those folks were these black for a living, with the exception, I think one of them was one of these white yakadoo liberals that, guilt-ridden white liberals who thinks it's racist, who thinks they have white privilege. I remember it was so stupid. I need to pull it up. One of the guys that was suing the city of Jackson when they were doing the roadblocks over in South Jackson said he had white privilege, so he was suing because he didn't get arrested at the roadblock or something to that extent. Like, man, shut up. Shut up. If you want a black girlfriend, just go get a black girlfriend. Quit virtue signaling. You ain't got to prove that you're going to fight the power to get a black girlfriend. I mean, I ain't going to say it. Let's take a break. Let's do that. Come back in, reset. I actually got some things I want to talk about today. I was thinking about something. We're talking about rights this morning, your First Amendment. I want to talk about our Second Amendment and the all-out attack on guns again since the trans terrorist attack in Minnesota. And some of the dumb things that Tim Walz said. And I want to push this a little further, because we always like to say that guns don't kill people, people kill people. I want to use some other analogies in the same sense of that, where something that people used or did ended up with people killing people, but we have no problem blaming it on the other thing when it happens instead of the people. That's what we call a tease in the business. What am I talking about? Stay tuned. You'll find out. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm live at the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi Studios this morning. The Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. We may take calls. We may not. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. When we come back, I'll have the live chat pulled up on the stream. We are streaming worldwide at Save JXN on Facebook, X, YouTube, and at Clay Edwards Show on Rumble. Today will be the last day that we stream the show to Facebook. We are going to be moving it to the other platforms full time as far as the live show. Today will be the last day it streams to Facebook. I'm not happy with the numbers over there. And if I'm going to give away content, I would rather build it up on YouTube. Plain and simple, it's a business decision. The show will still upload every night, an ad-free version to Facebook if people want to go back and watch it. But we will not be streaming on Facebook anymore after today. So anyway, with that said, we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Rip the knob off. Hit the share button wherever you're watching. Snap and Alexa. Guys, don't forget, we do podcast this show as soon as it's done, within an hour. If obviously we've been getting done a lot quicker than that lately. But just at the latest by 10 a.m., it is posted on Apple, Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts, Google, everywhere, YouTube. It's on all of it. Ad-free, minus the live reads. Go check it out. It turns a 2-hour show into an hour and 20 minutes. And as previously mentioned, at 7 p.m. every night, a video version of the show uploads to Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble ad-free. So check it out. Did a lot of content yesterday. A lot of content. Man, we got a bunch of stuff posted yesterday. All right, this segment brought to you by our friends over at Tri-County Tree Service. Reach out to those guys for any of your tree trimming needs. Had a tree fall, needed cut up, moved on out of there, turned into firewood. They got you covered, man. Well, I can't think of all the different reasons why you may need to get a tree cut down, but I can think of ones. No, I'd already said that. This is a terrible ad read here. I apologize. Need a tree cut down, call Tri-County Tree Service. That's all I got, man. Good guys, good folks. About to be getting cold outside. You're going to need some firewood. Reach out to them. Let them come by. Get that taken care of for you. I assume they cut it all the way down to the firewood for you. I know they cut them down and get them out of the way. Save one from falling on your house, your cars, your kids, your family, you. Man, that has got to be one of the worst ways to think about going out, huh? Just outside in your yard, minding your own business, in your house, minding your own business, and damn tree falls through on a pretty day, takes you out, when all you could have done was, to prevent it, was call Tri-County Tree Service. But no, you're being hard-headed. You wanted to go on that Jet 2 vacation, that Jet 2 holiday. Anybody that has a TikTok knows what I'm talking about. Every video for the last month has had that sound in the background. A Jet 2 holiday. And there's always a bunch of Democrats fighting on a Carnival cruise. Ooh, they love them Carnival cruises, don't they? I tell you what I have learned is I don't want to go on a Carnival cruise. I don't want to go on any cruise, to be honest with you. That just doesn't sound fun to me at all. All right, so let's play a little video of big time Tim Walz, Sean Yurtkaron's favorite politician. I remember when they announced Tim Walz was going to be the vice president nominee for the Democrats. I was like, this is a terrible picture. I was like, no, man, he's going to be good, man. He's a coach, he's a football coach, man. He's a football coach. Man, I don't think that played out the way they thought it was going to. He didn't quite connect to the male vote quite like they thought it would with his jazz hands. Before we get into this video real quick, let's take a call. I think we got on the Mazda Jackson phone line. What's up?
Morning. Of course, I was on the road, so I couldn't text. But yeah, I was gonna bite on the insurance deal. That is something that I literally deal with every single day. I have a yard full of non-insured or underinsured vehicles. So, I mean, yeah, I'm like you. I don't want anybody looking into my business or dealing with my personal paperwork, which I'm sure the dead sitter pool and stuff, where you have private. Yeah, the insurance deal is getting out of control. It's one of those deals to where if somebody's car, half a year, the car's a month old. I get it. Insurance is outrageous, but I don't know what the fix is.
Yeah, people haven't had it. I mean, just you got to keep enforcing it. You know, add it to the car note. I don't know. There's got to be a way around it. I mean, there's got to be a way to enforce it.
Yeah, but as far as the Autobahn out there, man, don't mess with them out there. That thing makes me a lot of money. So let them keep running into those cables in the median and running off in the woods and playing Mario Karts out there on 220. I love it.
Man, I have seen, like, with my own eyes, witnessed the wrecks happen more there than anywhere. Joe, we got a bad connection. I'm gonna let you go. Appreciate you, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I have witnessed more wrecks with my own eyes happen on 220 in front of or across from me over the last 5 years. Now, granted, it's because I'm a good bit, so of course I see the wrecks, but it's mind-boggling to me how many wrecks I've seen on 220. Not most of them, all of them, single car accidents from people being complete idiots. I mean, like, you know, sometimes when an accident happens, it's just two cars, they got too close, you know, somebody did something stupid, whatever. But the overwhelming majority of the wrecks I've seen were single car nonsense. Me and Fred Shank saw a car fall out of the sky one day. Still to this day, have no clue how this car ended up where it ended up or how it got there. But we were heading on 227 right before Clinton Boulevard, and a car shot from the other side of the interstate through the median and across, like across us, like it was like we were at a four-way and they were on the cross street. Except we never saw it come from the other side of the interstate. It's like it came from under the median, under the bridge, and ramped up, but there was nowhere there for that to happen. Again, no clue how this car ended up in the position it was in. And of course, then it lands and it plows into the brick wall, the barrier wall there. So it was kind of close to a bridge. There's a way I think it could have happened. I mean, it was some straight Dukes of Hazzard, Hollywood, Fast and the Furious, CGI type stuff. Then there was a guy I was going 220 south right on the other side of Clinton Boulevard, and a guy comes flying by me. Again, I'm in the left lane, and I was actually about to get over. There were no cars around me, so I was just in the left lane. I was about to get over into the right lane, just happened to look in my mirror, and I see a Nissan Maxima. Or an Altima, one or the other. Maybe it was a Charger. It was one of those stereotypical Democrat cars. And it's coming 100 miles an hour up the right lane. I was like, well, I'm not going to get over. And about 2 football fields up, there's an 18-wheeler in the right lane, you know, probably going 65, 70 miles an hour. It ain't creeping. And the guy, the girl, whoever in the other car never checks up till they're right at the bumper of the 18-wheeler. They must have been playing on their phone, whatever. I don't want to speculate. And they jerked it left right before they ate the back end of this 18-wheeler. They bounced off those retention cables, shot back across the interstate, hit something, and then bounced back across. But it was still just a one-car accident. They never hit another car. And I was like, yep. Now, I just keep going. Idiots do stuff like that. I'm not checking to see if they're okay. I'm just not. Because to me, it's just process of elimination. Only the strong survive. Only the strong survive. Survival of the sickest. Anyway, I want to play this video real quick. This is, and we're going to take a break, but let me get the right one queued up here this morning. Tim Walz, a man's man, the guy that Democrats thought was going to be a man's man. He's a football coach, guys. Old ball coach. Men was going to rally around him. This is the Democrats' idea of a high testosterone male. Tim Walz, text Clay to 601-800-5133. 601-800-5130, and we'll get you a complimentary testosterone screening today. I'm guessing I got enough for both of us because you're going to need some. You're going to need some. Let's play this video real quick, and we're going to take a break and come back and unpack it.
They had a school shooting in Scotland, or they had an incident in Australia. They simply made changes. They are just as free as we are. They still have gun ownership requirements, but they have made sure that they don't have these. And since they did those things, they don't have them. We are an outlier amongst nations in terms of what happens to our children, and I refuse to think that that's okay. It's simply not.
There's a longer version of this where he says, we just got to make some changes. Let's just make some changes. It's simple. Just make some changes. Now, we're going to find that before we take our break here. There's another version of this video that's just a little bit longer. So that one was how long? Sorry, I know this is great radio here. It was 21 seconds. That one's, there's a longer version. But you got to make some changes to the Constitution. It's easy. Just make some changes. Well, I can't find that. Let's take our break. I'll see if I can find it during the break. If not, we're going to unpack, because I got a lot I want to say about it. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back.
This is the Clay.
Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, here live on WYAB, streaming worldwide at WYAB.com, as well as the TuneIn app and Alexa. Also, streaming in stunning HD at Save JXN on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. This segment brought to you by our friends over at UrgeVet. Guys, they're open after hours. It's your emergency veterinarian clinic here in Central Mississippi from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. and 24 hours on weekends and holidays. You hope you never have a need to take one of your household pets to an emergency veterinarian clinic. But if you do, may I recommend my friends out at UrgeVet. Dr. Spencer Mills and his team get your little pet taken care of and back home healing and on their way to a full recovery. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. They're located out there on Olympic Way in Madison, Mississippi. Good folks, good friends of mine. Enjoy being around them. Had them on the show a couple times, and would trust my pet with them. I got 2 of them. Would trust them in a heartbeat. I've heard great stories about people who've had to go out there. And I see random folks online, people check in on Facebook and stuff when they're dealing with something bad with their pet, because everybody kind of wants a little bit of that, little emotional little prayers from people and, whatnot. And I see that the veterinarian, the after hours vet they check into the most, at least on my news feed, appears to be UrgeVet. So that tells me that, and these are folks that I wouldn't necessarily peg as Clay Edwards Show listeners necessarily. Of course, people would be blown away if they knew what the demographic of this show really was. It's not just angry 40-something-year-old white males. I ain't saying that ain't a lot of them, but it's not the majority. The majority of this listeners on this show are women, believe it or not. But advertisers out there, you're looking for somewhere to advertise to women. The show has a lot more female listeners than people think it does. So, just throwing that out there. And we need a spa. We need some hairdressers advertising on here. Places that sell stuff for men. Got the holidays are coming up. Shouldn't you be advertising to the men's wives to come in and buy them a gift card or something? A gift basket? A gun? Guys like guns. We like it when women buy them for us too. Email me, clay@wyab.com. I didn't mean to turn that into a self-promotional ad read there. All right. So we played that video of Tim Walz talking about the Second Amendment. And I was just thinking about something, man, this morning. I was listening to Joe Rogan, and he was interviewing somebody, and then I flipped it over, and I don't know, just a thought hit me. The whole guns don't kill people, people kill people. And then we always say, and of course, liberals think the guns to kill people, not people. And our argument is usually something along this lines. Do we blame the car when a drunk driver kills somebody? No, but you know what we do blame? We blame the alcohol. liberals want to sue gun companies now, gun manufacturers now. I'm going somewhere with this. Y'all come along for the ride. Liberals also want to sue the gun manufacturers. Hillary Clinton said that she was going to make sure back in 2016 that we could sue the gun manufacturers and we would ban guns by basically putting gun manufacturers out of business by allowing people to sue them. So let's go back to the alcohol thing. A drunk driver kills somebody. So we don't talk about banning cars. We don't blame it on the car, but we do blame it on the alcohol. And being a former bar owner, I'm going to tell you, and this is going to hurt some of y'all's feelings, the alcohol doesn't kill people. People kill people. The alcohol is no more responsible for that person's death than the gun manufacturer is responsible for that person's death, or the car that they're driving being responsible for that person's death. We allow, air quotes in the studio, victims of drunk driving accidents to sue the bars or restaurants for, again, air quotes in the studio, over serving. The bartender didn't kill nobody. Didn't hurt anybody. The bartender didn't drive that car. People have to take personal responsibility. The alcohol don't kill people. The car don't kill people. Guns don't kill people. The bartender don't kill people. The owner of the restaurant don't kill people. People kill people. We shouldn't be allowing any of these frivolous lawsuits, in my opinion. Pull the chat back up on the screen. My system's going a little slow this morning. Shocker. What do y'all think? I mean, I'm not wrong. I've had these beliefs for a long time. This ain't something I just landed on. I didn't just hit Plymouth Rock this morning on this. I have thought this for a long time, having been a part of lawsuits where people claim to have been overserved. We won, by the way. Where people got in fights at a bar and they sue the bar. Like, you started it and got your butt whooped. It ain't my responsibility to keep you from getting your butt whooped where you let you run your mouth limitlessly. It ain't my responsibility to protect you out on the sidewalk. Sorry about your luck, but it ain't my fault. Was that mystical? Uh-oh, it ain't my fault. Did I do that? Man, it I was reading some of your comments here. People seem to agree with me. People seem to agree with me, at least in the natural selection. I was reading a comment. In the comments, people seem to agree. But back to Tim Walz. These people are bat crap crazy. They really think that if you take away the guns, that people will quit killing each other. Oh, we got to protect the children. We got to protect the children. What about the kids? They don't give a damn about kids. The people who support abortion, the people who vaccinate newborn babies, the people who want minor children to cut their penises off, to give them hormone blockers, to chemically castrate them, children, minors. Those people, the Democrats, they suddenly give a damn about the lives of children? Not today, Satan. You don't get to play that card with Clay. That's why I know some people who claim to be Democrat that are Christian, that I truly believe are Christians. But man, I have a real hard time reconciling how you can be a Democrat and a Christian when you support death at the clip you support death. I mean, and murder and mutilation of children. I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't reconcile it. So the Democrats always use these school shootings. We got to protect the children. No, what they want to protect is their power. And what they know that keeps America, for the third time, air quotes in the studio, free is our Second Amendment rights. It keeps us free from them doing whatever they want to us, because they know deep down, rooted in our DNA, is a gene that won't go away called FA-FO. America was built on effing around and finding out. That's how we got to where we're at. We're in our superpower era. They know deep down that there's some of us still that ain't playing that game, that ain't choosing freedom over safety, or safety over freedom, excuse me. Some of us are willing to die for our freedom, and we're willing to take you with us. It's that serious. That's what people like Tim Walz, he understands it. He understands it. He just won't say it. But that's why they jump out here and they talk about all this gun grabbing nonsense. Gun buybacks. Did y'all see, where was it at? Chicago or somewhere recently? They did a gun buyback deal, and one of those guns killed a kid, and now the family's suing the police department or the city. You know, the gun buybacks work great, don't they? Let's take a break. We'll be right back. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Boom goes the dynamite. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the radio. Just like old boy had 5 vowels in his name, it's radio. That's Cameron from yesterday. I'm talking about the future rocket scientist, engineer, and astronaut from Jackson who killed a man, allegedly, had all 5 vowels in his first name in order. A-E-I-O-U. Just like I spell R-A-D-I-O. Radio was his name. Oh, I am easily amused. I am playing to an audience of one here, guys. I see myself on the screen. I see myself laugh at my jokes. I'm an audience of one. I'm live in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Guys, you know the deal. Text Clay to 601-800-5130, and you can become a madman like me when your testosterone gets back high. Just bouncing off the walls, having a good time, saying all the things everybody else wish they could say. And feeling great, sleeping better, looking better, more driven than I've been in years. You know, we always talk about the physical benefits of testosterone, but man, even if I didn't lift a single weight and feel like I look better, the way it makes me feel is just second to none. It's absolutely second to none. I am so driven right now, goal set, goal driven. It's phenomenal. I wish I'd been like this in my 20s. Well, I was like this in my 20s. I wish I'd been like this in my 30s and early 40s. No telling where I would be in life. But here I am, living the dream. You can be too. Text Clay, 601-800-5130. Get your complimentary testosterone screening today from Men's Health of Mississippi. All right, let's see here. I want to start a new segment on the show. And we're going to go back and read some of your texts and stuff. I want to start a new segment on the show because every time I talk about what's going on in the black community, everybody gets mad at me. I don't like hearing a white man say it. I don't like it. Clay's racist. I don't like him. He can't say that. So what I'm going to start doing is we're going to start a new segment called Black People Talking About Black People. And because there's plenty of good, level-headed, conservative thinking Black folks out there that I don't think get the nod and the attention they deserve. Because they have ghetto fatigue too. And that's why I don't like calling it Black fatigue. I don't have Black fatigue. I have ghetto fatigue. I have oppression fatigue. I have victim fatigue. I have Black folks who have gotten up out the mud, refusing to call out the ones causing all the chaos fatigue. I especially got that fatigue. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely have that fatigue. Another version of the fatigue that I have is Black suburbanites who have never lived in the ghetto defending the people that live in the ghetto fatigue and wanting to play hard like they're from the ghetto fatigue. That especially. You've been given every upper hand in life and you want to run around here and act oppressed and act like you're hard. Stop. You are from Brandon. You are from Byram. You are not from the ghetto. You are not from Jackson. You are from Madison. Stop it. You are from Gluckstadt. You are from Flowood. Okay, well, that is kind of ghetto. Stop. Stop. You grew up with both parents in the damn house, hardworking folks, got up out the mud, or was never in it, to give you a good life, and you want to run around here and act hard, pretending that you struggled. It's like these rich athletes, kids. Like Michael Irvin's got a son that's a gangster rapper. And Michael Irvin had to call him out and said, boy, you grew up in the best neighborhoods, went to the best schools. You ain't no thug. You ain't had to get it how you live. Rajah Jackson, the kid the story that we were the first to cover around here. And people got mad at me talking about, quit talking about wrestling. I told y'all it was going to be one of the biggest stories in the country. We were the first to cover it. Rampage Jackson's son jumping in a wrestling ring and beating a guy half to death. You know, another one playing hard like he's been up in the struggle. Grew up with a millionaire dad. I ain't saying growing up with a millionaire dad's all rainbows and butterflies. I'm sure it has its struggles, but you had a place to rest every night where bullets weren't flying across your head in every direction. Anyway, point being, there's a lot of Black folks out there that have ghetto fatigue. And we're going to start highlighting them on this show. And we're going to start with this fella here who, this is going on Instagram. Let me pull it up. Y'all bear with me real quick. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. I guess I should have got this ready during the break. But let's see here. Derek, stay on hold. I'm glad you called. This fella's name is Chad O. Jackson. And he is tired of Roland Martin talking about vote like a Black woman. So this is really good here. And there's no cuss words in it either. I got to just reload it so it'll start.
I have to call a thing a thing. When you look at Black culture, who leads it? Women. That's actually a curse. That's not a blessing. That's a curse. In the Bible, in Isaiah, it talks about how you will be persecuted by children. What's going on in the inner cities? Who are the gangs made up mostly of? Children. And women will lead you. That's not a blessing, that's a curse. And Martin's walking around with a shirt that says vote like a Black woman. That's crazy to me. Wearing a shirt that says vote like a Black woman. Look, you dummy. The reason why Black women vote predominantly for a party, for a philosophy that promises handouts, that promises to take care of you, that promises to be your big brother, is because they depend on the men in their home. And so it's because you fell asleep at the gate that your women feel that they must now vote for a politician to take care of them.
You ain't done more for Black people than LBJ did, than Bill Clinton did, than FDR did.
For you a grown man to wear a shirt that says vote like a black woman is like saying I don't want to be a man. I don't want to take responsibility and rise to the occasion. I want for the government to take care of me. That's what you're saying when you wear a shirt that says vote like a black woman who doesn't feel protected, who doesn't feel like her man can take care of her and of the family. That's what you are saying when you say vote like a black woman. The nerve of you.
What do y'all think? What do y'all like the new segment? Like I said, that guy's name is, you can find him on Instagram. Sorry. You can find him on Instagram at Chad O. Jackson. C-H-A-D, the letter O, Jackson. This dude is on fire. One of my favorite new follows. Saw somebody share that the other day. I don't know what made me hit play, but I am glad I did. I am so glad I did. Derek, if you're still listening, call back, brother. Call back. 601-879-0002 is the Mazda of Jackson phone line. Like I said, man, there's a lot of, look, I've got a huge black audience, male and female, and I get a lot of messages all the time. People who don't want to go public. And I get sponsors that tell me this too. This ain't just me talking. I get sponsors that tell me all the time, Clay, you'd be blown away at how many older, and by older, I mean 35, 36, 30, older, 40 and older black supporters you have that support you getting out there and standing up against the culture rot. Because they're tired of these hoodlums, these YNs, as they call them in the community. They're tired of them being the billboard or the public face of the black community. And to that, I will say this, and it's the same thing I tell white people that tell me, man, you say the things we wish we could say, but we're scared to say it. Well, look, I appreciate that. It does give me a job, y'all being scared to say it. But at some point, y'all got to stand up and fight back and say these things to the people you want to say them at. When I started this whole Save Jackson thing, I took my Instagram page, which was predominantly black followers because of being in the black nightclub business for as long as I was. It was just more blacks followed it because it was the nightclub page that catered towards them, which is fine. And I said, I'm going to take that page and I'm going to turn it into a page calling them out. Calling out the shenanigans around here, the culture rot, the bad behavior, the crime, the corruption. I'm not going to go over here and stand on a pulpit in Rankin County and preach to the choir. I'm going to go be the church in the community where it needs to be. I'm not comparing myself to Jesus by no stretch of the imagination here or a preacher, but y'all understand what I'm saying. I didn't want to go talk to a echo chamber. I wanted to go talk to the people that needed to hear it, the people that needed to see it, the people I was pissed off at for destroying my city. Those are the ones that needed to hear and see what I had to say. And if other people picked it up along the way, fine. I do like having folks that agree every now and then. But when I make my videos, my F around and find out videos, all that stuff, those are not for y'all's entertainment. Those are a public service announcement to the thugs, future rocket scientists, engineers, and astronauts, effed around and found out grand champions that are out here committing the crimes, the knuckleheads. I want to get through to them. I want them to see, we see you. We see you. We're laughing at you. We don't respect you as a culture. The rest of America, the rest of the area, we see you. We know what you're doing. They don't like it. People don't like being called out for what they know is true. I talk about that on this show all the time. People get the most defensive when you're right above target. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. This is the Clay Edwards Show, live in the men's health and women's wellness of Mississippi studios. In the men's health and women's wellness of Mississippi studios, this segment brought to you by friends at El Portillo Mexican Grill and Cantina. Guys, I've been having a fajita craving. I posted a picture of the old El Chico's in its somewhat current state. Pictures from 5 years ago. I'm sure it's worse now than it was then. But I posted a picture of the old El Chico's over by the Metro Center the other day, and I've been craving some fajitas ever since. And today may just be the day that I satisfy that craving and get over to El Portillo at one of their two great locations, whether it be Flowwood right there at Dogwood or Crossgates in Brandon, and take advantage of some of their mouth-watering fajitas. Or maybe I'll get some of the Berea tacos. I don't know. I'm conflicted. I think I need to satisfy the fajita craving and some of their chips and salsa. But man, look, they got the best menu of authentic Mexican food and Southwest style in Central Mississippi, made from scratch, fresh ingredients and more. Frozen drinks, happy hour, karaoke, patio. They got it all at El Portillo. And they have specialty items every week. A lot of times it's off the, stuff that's not on the menu, off menu items, not off the menu, but off menu items that are available as specials. Follow them on Facebook, El Portillo Mexican Grill and Cantina. They have two different Facebook pages, Brandon and Flowwood. They keep them updated pretty regularly, which makes my job promoting them easier. Good folks over there, man. Really good folks. Stop by, see them today. Tell them Clay sent you. Try one of those frozen margaritas. Man, they're good. I like, for me, I don't mind a frozen margarita if somebody else is buying. I'm not a frozen drink guy, but I love a dang near frozen draft beer. Out of the old Mexican, Mexican restaurants, they got the huge goblets and the huge mugs, the old fishbowl goblets, and the big oversized glass mugs. Like, you don't get that nowhere else but Mexican restaurants. Why haven't like Americanized restaurants caught on to that? Hey, you know what? People like that. People like frozen mugs and cold beer. Why haven't we learned that at our bars, at our American themed, you know what I mean? Not Mexican restaurants. Our non-Mexican restaurants need to catch on to that. All right. Check them out. El Portillo Mexican Grill and Cantina. All right. Something else I want to talk about today is, I have no problem calling out the wacky trans community at all. And the double standard of how I want y'all to think about this here. This is, what do I like to say? Mind-boggling. Let me see if there's any audio to this here. All right, so we got some audio here. So I want to play this, and I don't know. I haven't listened to see if there's any bad words. I'm gonna keep my finger on the dump button and hope for the best, but plan for the worst. This is JD Vance visiting the site or paying respects. I don't know if he's at the hospital or if he's at the school where the shooting was last week, where the trans terrorist killed the kids that were praying at a Catholic school. Again, a trans terrorist. It wasn't just, they didn't just happen to be trans and do this. They did this because they're trans, which therefore makes you a trans terrorist. You got to use the same energy. Just like y'all tell me the Goon Squad beat black people because they were black, so they have to be racist. If the Goon Squad has to be racist, regardless of how many other white people they had victims, if they got to be racist, then this trans killer has to be a trans terrorist. You can't have your cake and eat it too, Democrats. Let's listen to this. This is JD Vance being harassed by trans activists at the site where one of their people just killed kids. And man, there's some kids that are in really, really bad shape. One girl's had to have both sides of her skull removed that survived. Just terribly sad situation. These people are evil. Again, it's not a mental illness. I'm done with that. I'm done calling it a mental illness. It's not. It's evil. Evil incarnate.
Protect our kids! Protect our kids! Do better! Do better!
Holding a sign saying, this is your job, protect our kids. They're flying trans flags. Says, when you pray, move your feet. So, and this is just one of many videos and images from the scene here. So these trans nut jobs and the white liberal women that support them are protesting at the scene of this terrible tragedy, this stain, this poop stain on America, where one of their own people just murdered kids. And they're out there flying the trans flag. Let me paint an equivalent photo for y'all, an image here, where we would say, could you imagine if, like we like to do, if there was a white version of some of this black nonsense that goes on, how it would be racist if it was white people doing it, but it's only racist, but it's not racist because it's black people doing it. Now let's do a version of this called, could you imagine the media backlash if anybody else but the rainbow supremacy did this? Could you imagine if a MAGA supporter went and killed a bunch of Democrats somewhere, and then other MAGA supporters were at the scene flying MAGA flags and shouting down a Democrat president that visited the scene the next day or the next week? What the media, the heyday the media would have with that. And I would sit right here and tell you that's effed up if anybody did that. It would be in bad taste that if somebody draped in MAGA gear, which no MAGA would actually do that, it would be a false flag. It would be a Democrat playing MAGA like what they were doing at January 6th. It would 100% be a false flag because MAGA are good God-fearing people. And of course, we would never do that. But I want to paint an image here. And then people saying, oh, well, let's go drape ourselves in MAGA gear and go protest. Or here's another one. If some neo-Nazis went and killed some people in the same manner, killed some children, draped in their swastikas and their Aryan brotherhoodness, and a group of white supremacists were there protesting with their swastika flags and whatnot the next day. How do you think the media would portray that? You think they would support it? Like, yeah, them Aryans really got done wrong here. There's a lot of Aryan hate right now just because of one bad one that did something. That's not how they would paint that image. No more than how they would paint it if a MAGA did it. They would say, no, don't let one ruin the bunch. And Clay, how do you know that's what they would do? Because I watched them do it on January 6th. When they tried to round up every MAGA in the country and put us on a one-way train to an oven. They were 100% ready. And I know y'all go, oh, you're just being an extremist. You're being crazy talk, Clay. If they thought they could have got away with it, they 100%, Joe Biden and that filthy regime of terrorists would have 100% loaded every conservative MAGA supporter, especially males, white males, on a train and shipped us on a one-way ticket to an oven. If they thought they could have got away with it after January 6th. And if you think otherwise, you ain't been paying attention. They were ready to do that with the unvaxxed. Until the vax was such a debacle that it started killing them, and they couldn't control the narrative anymore. when all the moms woke up and said, hold on now. This thing ain't what it was represented to be. You'll never convince me that we weren't on our way. We made it. I did a thing the other day, a couple of weeks ago on the show. We made it to like step 7 or 8 on the 10 steps to genocide during COVID. They were 100% ready to send us to an oven. Ashton Pittman with the Mississippi Free Press. I want to say allegedly here because I'm sure the tweet has been deleted and I can't 100% prove it, but I'm almost positive. But I got to say allegedly had a tweet that wished death upon all the unvaxxed. And this is one of the same clowns that likes to run these cancel culture operations against conservatives that post mean things on the internet. But y'all thought I was going to come in here. Y'all thought y'all got a new and improved Clay because I ain't been on the front lines of the culture war lately. Because I've been having fun in here. Bunch of ha-has. Bunch of LOLs. Just been talking about the culture rot in Jackson. Y'all didn't think I still had it in me to call out the filthy, nasty Democrat New World Order that's running this country. I still got it. I still see what's going on. I ain't going nowhere. I heard Alex Jones needs a new co-host. Owen Schroyer left. Put me in, coach. Put me in. Clay Edwards was built for InfoWars. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. I want to make sure I clear something up real quick. Sean texted in and said, I don't know if the Nazi reference landed quite right. So I want to clear something up here. What I was saying in that last rant was that if any other group, period, was doing what the rainbow supremacists are doing, protesting J.D. Vance at the scene of this horrific mass shooting, if any other group was doing it, it would be absolute outrage across the board. What I was saying was, just so we're all on the same page here, because I know it's a touchy subject, so we're all on the same page. I was saying if white supremacists, Nazis, Aryans had done it, it would be an absolute outrage by the media, as it should be. As it should be. But see, I look at the rainbow supremacist just like Democrats look at white supremacists. To me, they're equally, if not even more evil. At least the white supremacists aren't chemically castrating children and physically mutilating them by fighting for their legal rights to cut their penises off and to legally and to chemically castrate themselves without at minimum their parents' permission. That's eugenics. That is all the bad stuff that the Nazis did experiments doing. And here the Democrats are fighting for their rights, their civil rights, to be able to do that to themselves. So yeah, I actually put the rainbow supremacy above or below, depending on your perspective, whichever one's worse in your book. I put them as being worse than, not worse than the Nazis, like the Hitler Nazis, but worse than the modern idea of a neo-Nazi, if that makes sense for y'all. I have zero respect for the rainbow supremacy. Period. Guns and Gear text line 769-241-1944. Let's see here. I had some other notes I wanted to hit this morning. Let's read some text. Kingfish says, Clay Edwards defends white supremacist. Headline of the day. Let's pull up the Guns and Gear text line. I guess. All right, circling back to personal accountability and responsibility and how guns don't kill people, people kill people, cars don't kill people, people kill people, alcoholics don't kill people, people kill people. I'm sorry, alcohol doesn't kill people, people kill people. Bartenders don't kill people, people kill people. Somebody texts in and says, can I sue Little Debbie for getting fat? Don't give these people any ideas. I'm sure somebody has sued McDonald's because they've gotten fat. As a matter of fact, let's do a Grok in live time here. Grok.
Nope, I'm not Grok. I'm your assistant.
Okay. Okay, concubine. Has anyone ever sued the restaurant or food industry because they got fat eating their food?
Yeah, people have tried. A guy named Caesar Barber sued McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and KFC back in 2002, claiming their food caused his obesity. He said they didn't warn him about the health risks. The case got tossed.
All right, so if y'all couldn't hear my concubine, she goes, yeah, people have tried. A guy named Caesar Barber sued McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and KFC back in 2002, claiming their food caused his obesity. He said they didn't warn him about the health risk. The case got tossed. Courts called it personal responsibility. What? The courts actually said personal responsibility? Ooh, that was a bygone era, 2002. 2002. I bet this happened in California. Continuing on, the case got tossed. Court said personal responsibility. There have been a few others, like against McDonald's for misleading ads, but most get dismissed. Big chains are slippery. They've got lawyers. Interesting. Man, one of the best every time I hear McDonald's in lawsuit, I know that Sean knows where I'm going with this. Every time I hear McDonald's in lawsuit, I think about the hot coffee incident. That's one of the best documentaries I've ever watched. That case was about so much more. The damage that hot coffee did to that lady's legs and, lady parts, she absolutely deserved to sue, and McDonald's deserved every penny they had to pay or should have paid. I don't remember exactly what the outcome was. I want to say she got millions of dollars or it got thrown out. It was somewhere in between. Nowhere in between. It was one or the other. I can't remember the ending. But that's one of the best documentaries you'll ever watch. I know. I want to say Sean's a fan of it too, because I feel like we've discussed it. But that is one of the times where it was not a frivolous lawsuit, where it was not a personal responsibility thing. I don't remember how the coffee got to that level of scorch, but man, they showed that is still burned into my brain. Unfortunately, they should have given a warning about to show photo that you'll never be able to unsee of this lady's inner thighs and lady parts with scabs from the burns all over it. Oh, I immediately just said, pay her whatever she's asking for. Pay her whatever she's asking for. And I'm never on the side of the plaintiff. I usually always take the side of the business, having been on that side for so long, and people in frivolous lawsuits, being in the nightclub business, that I usually just always assume that somebody's lying. They're just trying to get rich quick. That is one of what I would assume is a rare case of the plaintiff being right. And there are some lawyers out there, man, that do good work. There's actually a lot of lawyers out there that do good work. And that was one of the cases of a lawyer doing good work. Unfortunately, there's a lot of lawyers out there that do frivolous lawsuits, and they should all be disbarred, in my humble opinion. But I've also seen here lately with a family member of mine who had a surgery, who got a knee surgery at a local sports medicine place that may or may not be named after the state that we live in, who absolutely butchered her knee in the aftermath of a surgery. And she's having to have multiple more surgeries, miss a year of work because some idiot didn't know that you can't put I think it was an antibiotic shot or a pain shot or something like that into a plastic knee at their clinic. And it caused a massive infection. And I will just say my mom has almost had to have her lower leg amputated, and she can't sue or anything because of tort reform. But if there's any lawyers out there that are interested in trying, reach out to me. My mom's got a hell of a case if there's anything to be done. Very disgusting. Very disgusting. And I know there's some people that work there that are fans of this show. And I hate that. And I would love to go after them. But, you know, if I talked about them, they could sue me. If I said their name and made these accusations, they could absolutely sue me. But my mom can't sue them for ruining her life for the foreseeable future. Because some nurse didn't know that you can't give a shot into a plastic knee. Crazy. One of the unintended consequences of supporting something until it happens to you. Weird how that works, isn't it? Like, I would have been all for supporting tort reform and caps on lawsuits and stuff of that nature. And I understand that a lot of, and it's because of people with frivolous lawsuits suing doctors that we got to this. But what happens is now there's actually good people. I mean, I know somebody who's one of my close friends. His dad died last year, and they're pretty sure he died of a chemo overdose of sorts. I don't want to say no names, but, you know, absolutely the fault of the medical industry. Malpractice is the word I was looking for. Medical malpractice. You know, so there are times where these physicians should 100% be liable for the mistakes they make, especially when it costs somebody their life or livelihood over something so simple. Like, don't put a shot where you can't put a shot. Don't put too much chemo in a cancer patient. Let's take a break, come back, land the plane for today. Today's been a bit of a free-for-all. There was nothing out there floating around that I was just super passionate about making notes and talking about this morning. I saw a few things online, saved them. You're going to have shows like this every now and then, just raw and authentic. And today's one of them. Today has definitely been one of them. Keep in mind, remember, today's the last day the show will stream live on Facebook. It will exclusively stream on the other platforms. So I guess that's not exclusively. It will just exclusively not stream on Facebook. It will upload to Facebook at 7 p.m. as an ad-free video, pre-recorded. But it will only stream on YouTube, Rumble, and X beginning tomorrow. I guess we could wait till Monday. We'll wait till Monday and start that. We'll get through the week, but starting Monday, no more streaming to Facebook. Facebook is not favoring live content anymore. YouTube is. Facebook is favoring short form, reels, all of that stuff. And at the end of the day, this is a business, and we have to use the platforms for what they're favoring the most as far as organic growth. And Facebook is not favoring live content. They're actually stifling it. They want pre-recorded reels and stuff because they can't put ads in live content. YouTube still favors live content because they want you spending as much time on their platform as possible. So that is where we're going to do the live content at. Keep it real simple. We'll be right back. Land the plane for the day. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. All right, man. We're live in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness Studios. Y'all get by Core Wellness and Therapy. Try out the cryotherapy bed, the cryotherapy chamber, the IV hydration, the red light therapy. Man, so many great therapeutic recovery techniques and options available over there. I love the leg compression boots and the oxygen bar. It's just really relaxing. After 2 hours of running my mouth on the radio, I like to go relax and do nothing for about 30 or 45 minutes there at Core Therapy at the Township in Ridgeland. Check them out today. And let me know what you think about it, man. I love the cryo and the red light and the boot compression, but they have the hyperbaric chamber, the infrared sauna, the dry cryo bed. Stay in it for 8 minutes if you can, if you dare. I'll be back here tomorrow with a FAFO Friday edition of the show. We'll have a good time. We'll close the week out strong. We'll be back at it Monday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., the most incendiary show in America, keeping that title in-house today. We reminded you why we got here, how we got here, and who the hell I am. This is the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 FM, WYAB. Coming up next, Mike Madison, followed by Andrew Gosser, then Sean and Lindsay, and then Kim Wade, 4 to 6. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.